The alarm bells rang across Nexus Prime Station as sensor operator Zek stared at his screens with growing confusion. The readings made no sense at all. Objects moved through space in patterns that violated every law of physics he knew. His clawed. Fingers tapped frantically at the controls while sweat dripped down his scaled face. "Commander Thal, you need to see this right now," Zek called out to his superior, who was reviewing patrol reports in the command center. The massive alien stepped over with heavy footsteps that echoed through the metal corridors of the most important station in the galaxy. Commander Thal looked at the displays, and his four eyes widened in shock. Gravity wells appeared and disappeared without warning, while energy signatures flickered in and out of existence like ghosts. "What are we looking at, Zek?" he asked, while his tentacles nervously wrapped around the nearest support beam. "Unknown. Contacts, sir, but they move like nothing we have ever seen before," Zek replied, while adjusting the long-range sensors for the 5th time in 10 minutes. "They appear for a few seconds, then vanish completely, then reappear somewhere else entirely." Far beyond the detection range of the alien sensors, Admiral Hyun stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the holographic display that showed every alien ship position within 50 light-years. His human crews worked in perfect silence while their advanced computers processed information that would take alien technology hours to analyze in mere seconds. "Status report, Captain Nari," Admiral Hyun said without taking his eyes off the tactical display. His uniform bore no decorations or medals, because where they were going, such things would mean nothing to the aliens who had never heard of Earth or humanity. Captain Nari stepped forward from her position at the weapons console, where she had been reviewing firing solutions for the past 6 hours. "All ships report ready, Admiral," she said while checking her datapad one final time. "The Soul's Wrath is maintaining stealth mode, along with the entire fleet." Admiral Hyun nodded slowly while studying the alien formations that moved in predictable patterns like ancient sailing ships on calm seas. "How long have they been using the same tactical doctrines, Director Boram?" he asked the intelligence officer who stood near the communications station. Director Boram consulted her files before answering with the precision that had made her the best intelligence analyst in the human fleet. "Our observations show they have not changed their basic formation patterns in over 200 years, Admiral," she said, while highlighting specific data points on her screen. "They still move in straight lines and fight like ships on water instead of vessels in 3-dimensional space." The human ships moved through hyperspace, using technology that bent reality around them, while alien sensors detected nothing more than occasional gravitational anomalies. Lieutenant Do-Yun piloted his fighter through a gap in space-time that would have torn apart any alien vessel, while his instruments showed him every enemy position within 100,000 kilometers. Back on Nexus Prime, the Emergency Council meeting had begun with representatives from 12 different species, arguing about the mysterious sensor readings. Ambassador Kale of the Vortani Empire slammed his fist on the table while his translator device struggled to convert his angry words into standard galactic. "These readings are impossible," Ambassador Kale declared, while his colleagues nodded in agreement. "No known technology can create such effects without massive energy expenditure that would light up every sensor grid in the sector." The hegemony representative, a creature that looked like a walking tree covered in metal plates, raised one branch-like appendage to speak. "Perhaps these are natural phenomena," it suggested in a voice that sounded like wind through leaves. "Space is vast and we do not understand everything about how it works." Admiral Hyun watched the Alien Council debate through surveillance equipment that had been placed throughout their station months ago by human infiltration teams. "They still think we are some kind of natural disaster," he said with amusement, while his bridge crew remained focused on their duties. Captain Nari activated the stealth reconnaissance drones that would map every alien ship and weapon system in the area while remaining completely invisible to enemy sensors. "Shall we begin the approach, Admiral?" she asked while her fingers hovered over the navigation controls. "Begin Phase 1, Admiral Hyun ordered, while the bridge lights dimmed to combat readiness levels. "All ships maintain radio silence and prepare for first contact protocols." The human fleet began its final approach toward the galactic core systems while moving through dimensions that alien science insisted were impossible to access. Each ship was a masterpiece of engineering that combined technologies stolen from crashed alien vessels with innovations that pure human genius had developed during decades of secret preparation. Engineer Soman monitored the fusion reactors that powered the Soul's Wrath while keeping one eye on the alien communication channels that her equipment intercepted and decoded in real time. "Admiral, they are discussing whether to send scouts to investigate the anomalies," she reported, while adjusting the power flow to maintain perfect stealth. "Let them send scouts," Admiral Hyun replied, while studying the positions of the alien fleets that guarded the most important systems in their territory. "They will find nothing until we want them to find something." The human ships emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Vortani home system, where massive space stations orbited the planet. Like artificial moons, alien patrols moved in slow, predictable patterns, while their crews remained completely unaware that an entire human fleet watched their every movement from just outside normal sensor range. Commander Minseo piloted her stealth corvette through the outer defense perimeter while her ship's computers recorded every detail of alien technology and defensive positions. The information would be transmitted back to Earth, where human scientists would analyze every weakness in their enemy's armor. On Nexus Prime, the debate continued while sensor technicians reported more impossible readings from across their territory. "The anomalies are appearing in multiple systems simultaneously," one technician reported, while his supervisor demanded explanations that no one could provide. "How can gravitational distortions appear in 12 different locations at exactly the same time?" the supervisor asked while reviewing reports that made less sense with each passing minute. "The energy requirements would be enormous, and we detect no power sources anywhere in those regions." Admiral Hyun smiled as he watched the alien confusion spread through their communication networks like a virus. "They measure everything by their own limitations," he said to Captain Nari, who was reviewing the latest intelligence updates from their reconnaissance teams. "They cannot imagine technology that operates beyond their understanding." The human fleet completed its positioning while remaining completely invisible to alien detection systems. Every major alien military installation was now under observation, while human computers calculated firing solutions and escape routes for every possible scenario that might develop during the coming confrontation. Director Borum updated her intelligence files with information gathered from intercepted alien communications while noting how their enemies continued to underestimate the threat they faced. "They still believe these are natural phenomena, Admiral," she reported while highlighting the most important alien command centers on her tactical display. "Perfect," Admiral Hyun replied while giving the order that would begin humanity's return to galactic prominence. "Signal all ships to prepare for revelation." The stage was set for first contact between humanity and the galactic powers that had ruled space for millennia without knowing that Earth's children had been watching and planning for this moment since the first alien signals reached their homeworld 50 years ago. Commander Thex stood on the bridge of his massive battlecruiser, watching the tactical display with growing excitement as his fleet moved to intercept what appeared to be primitive refugee vessels fleeing some unknown catastrophe. His crew of experienced warriors prepared their weapons while discussing how easy this capture would be compared to their usual patrol duties. "3 unknown vessels detected, sir," reported his sensor operator while highlighting the targets on the main screen. "They appear to be using primitive fusion drives and show no advanced shielding technology." Commander Thex studied the incoming ships with the confidence of someone who had never lost a space battle in 20 years of military service. "Signal them to surrender immediately and prepare for boarding," he ordered, while his weapons crews charged their plasma cannons that could destroy any known vessel with a single shot. Captain Nari received the alien surrender demand through her communication systems while reviewing the tactical situation from her command chair on the Soul's Wrath. Her bridge crew remained calm and focused, despite knowing they were about to make first contact with a hostile alien force that outnumbered them 3-1. "Admiral Hyun, they are demanding our immediate surrender," Captain Nari reported through the secure quantum communication link that connected all human ships. "They want to board our vessels and examine our technology." Admiral Hyun watched the alien formation from his flagship while noting how they moved in outdated battle patterns that left obvious weaknesses for any enemy with 3-dimensional tactical thinking. "Denied, Captain," he replied while giving the order his crews had trained for during years of preparation. "Show them what human engineering can accomplish." The Soul's wrath suddenly accelerated beyond anything the aliens thought possible while energy shields materialized around the human ships like barriers of pure light. Commander Thex watched in shock as his plasma cannon shots simply bounced off the human defensive systems without causing any damage at all. "Impossible!" Commander Thex shouted while his weapons crews fired again and again only to watch their most powerful attacks deflect harmlessly away from the human vessels. No known technology can create energy shields that strong. Captain Nari activated her ship's main weapons while targeting the alien flagship with precision that human computers calculated in microseconds. The Soul's wrath fired a single beam of concentrated energy that sliced through the alien armor like a hot knife through soft butter. Lieutenant Do-hyun led his fighter squadron through the alien formation while demonstrating maneuvers that seemed to violate the basic laws of physics. His small craft moved in spirals and loops that confused alien targeting computers designed to track objects moving in straight lines like conventional spacecraft. "How are they moving like that?" one alien pilot screamed into his communication system while trying to lock on to human fighters that appeared and disappeared faster than his instruments could track. "They move like they have no mass at all," the human fighters struck with surgical precision, while their advanced targeting systems identified critical components in each alien ship. Weapon turrets exploded in showers of sparks, while shield generators overloaded and died under the focused assault of human technology that operated decades ahead of anything the galaxy had ever seen. Commander Thex realized his fleet was being destroyed by vessels that should have been easy prey, while his most experienced crews struggled to understand how 3 primitive ships could outfight his entire battle group. "All ships concentrate fire on the lead vessel," he ordered while watching his tactical display show friendly units disappearing one by one. Captain Nari maneuvered her destroyer through space like a dancer, while her defensive systems turned alien weapons against their own users. Plasma bolts bounced off human shields and struck alien vessels, while kinetic projectiles redirected back toward their points of origin with doubled velocity. The battle lasted exactly 47 seconds from first shot to final surrender while alien crews across the galaxy listened to emergency broadcasts that described the impossible defeat of one of their finest naval units. Communication networks buzzed with reports that made no sense to military analysts who had studied space combat for their entire careers. "Admiral Hyun, the surviving alien vessels are requesting immediate ceasefire," Captain Nari reported while her weapon systems tracked the remaining enemy ships that had stopped firing after watching their flagship split in half. "They appear to be in complete shock." Admiral Hyun opened a communication channel to the alien survivors, while his translation computers converted his words into every known galactic language simultaneously. "I am Admiral Hyun of the Earth Defense Force," he announced, while projecting an image of calm authority that would be transmitted across alien space within hours. Commander Thex stared at the human admiral's face on his screen while trying to process what he had just witnessed. "Earth Defense Force," he repeated while checking his databases for any reference to that organization or the planet it represented. "We have no record of your species or your world." "That was intentional," Admiral Hyun replied, while noting how alien communication systems automatically recorded and transmitted every word of their conversation to higher authorities throughout their territory. "We have been observing your civilizations for 50 years while preparing for this moment." The news spread through galactic space like wildfire, while military commanders demanded explanations for how 3 unknown vessels had destroyed an entire hegemony patrol fleet without taking any damage. Emergency sessions began on every major world, while intelligence agencies struggled to find information about humans or Earth in their vast databases. Captain Nari supervised the recovery of escape pods containing alien survivors while human medical teams prepared to treat wounded enemies with the same care they would show their own people. "The prisoners are requesting to speak with their command structure admiral," she reported while reviewing the medical status of captured alien crew members. "Grant their request," Admiral Hyun replied, while knowing that every word the prisoners spoke would carry news of human capabilities to the highest levels of alien government. "Let them tell their leaders exactly what they witnessed here today." Lieutenant Do-hyun landed his fighter in the Soul's Wrath hangar, while his squadron mates celebrated their first combat victory against aliens who had ruled space for centuries without meeting serious opposition. Their advanced craft had performed flawlessly while demonstrating human superiority in every aspect of space combat. The alien prisoners sat in comfortable detention cells, while human guards provided medical care and answered questions about Earth. Technology with carefully prepared responses designed to create maximum psychological impact. Each answer revealed human capabilities that seemed impossible to alien science. "Your weapons do not work the same way as ours," one alien engineer observed while examining a human plasma rifle that used principles his people had never discovered. "The energy patterns are completely different from anything in our databases." The human guard smiled while explaining basic concepts that Earth scientists had mastered decades ago, but which represented revolutionary advances to galactic civilization. "We developed our technology independently," he said, while noting how the alien's face showed amazement at each new revelation. Commander Thex spoke with his fleet command through emergency channels while describing the battle that had changed everything the galaxy thought it knew about space warfare. "They have shields that make our weapons useless, and their own weapons cut through our armor like it does not exist," he reported, while military analysts demanded more details. "How many ships do they have?" demanded Fleet Admiral Kess while reviewing. Reports from across hegemony space that described similar encounters with mysterious vessels. "Are these isolated incidents or part of a larger invasion force?" "Unknown, sir," Commander Thex replied while watching human ships on his sensors that moved with casual confidence through space his people considered their private territory. "They claim to represent something called the Earth Defense Force, but we have no intelligence about their true numbers or capabilities." Admiral Hyun reviewed the first contact reports while noting how perfectly the engagement had proceeded according to human planning. The aliens had responded exactly as Earth intelligence had predicted while demonstrating the same tactical limitations that human observers had noted during decades of secret surveillance. "Signal the fleet to proceed to Phase 2, Admiral Hyun ordered while his ships began moving toward their next objective. "All alien governments will know about us within hours, and we want to be in position before they can organize any meaningful response." The human fleet vanished from alien sensors as suddenly as they had appeared while leaving behind wreckage, and survivors who would carry news of humanity's technological superiority to every corner of galactic space. The first shot had been fired in a war that would reshape the balance of power throughout the galaxy. General Taiho emerged from hyperspace at the head of the largest fleet the galaxy had ever seen, while 300 human vessels materialized in perfect formation around the Galactic Council's most sacred system. Each ship bore names that honored Earth's greatest cities and heroes, while their hulls displayed writing in dozens of human languages that aliens had never encountered before. The alien defense fleets that guarded the Council worlds found themselves completely surrounded by vessels that dwarfed their largest battleships while demonstrating technology that operated beyond their understanding of physical laws. Emergency alerts screamed across every communication channel, while military commanders realized they faced an invasion force of impossible size and capability. "This is General Taiho of the Earth Reclamation Fleet," the human commander announced. While his transmission reached every inhabited world in the galaxy through communication networks that human infiltrators had compromised years ago. "We come to reclaim what was always ours by right." Admiral Kess stared at the tactical display showing human ships positioned throughout the galaxy's core systems, while trying to comprehend how such a massive fleet had approached without triggering any early warning systems. "How did they get so many vessels past our sensor networks?" he demanded, while his staff struggled to provide answers that made sense. Captain Yuna activated the diplomatic broadcasting array that would transmit humanity's demands to every government and military organization in galactic space while ensuring that no alien authority could claim ignorance of human intentions. Her voice carried the calm confidence of someone who knew their position was unassailable. "The human species hereby claims immediate and permanent sovereignty over the following star systems," Captain Yuna announced while her computers transmitted detailed star charts that highlighted 12 of the galaxy's most valuable territories. "All alien military and civilian personnel have 72 hours to begin complete evacuation." The alien governments erupted in chaos, while their leaders demanded explanations for how unknown primitives could claim territory that had belonged to established civilizations for thousands of years. Emergency sessions began on every major world, while military analysts tried to understand the scope of the threat they faced. Dr. Minho stepped forward with archaeological evidence that human teams had been gathering for decades while infiltrating alien worlds under various cover identities. His presentation would shatter everything the galaxy believed about its own history while proving humanity's legal right to the territory they demanded. The star systems we claim contain ruins that your civilizations have studied for centuries, without understanding their true origin, Dr. Minho explained while displaying holographic images of ancient structures found throughout alien space. These ruins are not the work of some mysterious, vanished race. The archaeological evidence showed construction techniques and mathematical principles that matched Earth technology while containing writing systems that clearly derived from ancient human languages. Carbon dating and metallurgical analysis proved the structures were built by humans who had reached the stars long before any current alien civilization achieved spaceflight. Ambassador Kale studied the human evidence while his experts confirmed that every detail matched ruins found throughout Vortani territory. "This is impossible," he declared, while reviewing data that contradicted everything his people believed about galactic history. "Our ancestors discovered empty worlds with these ruins already in place." "Your ancestors discovered the remnants of humanity's first galactic empire," Dr. Minho replied, while displaying images of human artifacts that alien archaeologists had catalogued as curiosities from an unknown extinct species. "We are not invaders, but descendants returning to reclaim our ancestral homeland." The revelation sent shockwaves through galactic civilization, while governments realized that their entire territorial structure was built on land that legally belonged to the human species. Ancient property laws recognized by every galactic government gave clear precedence to the original inhabitants of any disputed territory. General Taiho watched alien military formations trying to position themselves for battle while noting how their outdated tactical doctrines left obvious openings for human forces operating with three-dimensional strategy. "They still think in terms of ocean warfare applied to space," he observed while reviewing targeting data from his fleet. The Galactic Council convened in emergency session while representatives from dozens of species argued about how to respond to human demands that threatened the foundation of their civilization. The legal precedent was clear, but accepting it would mean abandoning worlds that contained trillions of alien citizens. "We cannot simply evacuate entire star systems based on archaeological claims," declared the hegemony representative, while his colleagues nodded in agreement. "Our people have lived on these worlds for thousands of years and have established legitimate claims through occupation and development." Captain Yuna smiled while transmitting additional evidence that human legal experts had prepared for exactly this argument. "Galactic law clearly states that original inhabitants retain permanent sovereignty regardless of subsequent occupation," she replied, while citing specific legal codes that every alien government had signed. The human evidence included detailed records of the civil war that had driven Earth's ancestors from their galactic territories, while describing how internal conflicts had destroyed the infrastructure that might have prevented alien colonization. Survivors had fled to distant Earth, where they rebuilt their civilization while planning an eventual return. "The ruins you call mysteries are actually the remains of human cities and installations that our ancestors abandoned during the Great Exodus," Dr. Minho explained while showing computer reconstructions of how the ancient structures had appeared before centuries of neglect and alien interference. Engineer Soman monitored alien communication networks while noting how human revelations spread panic through every level of galactic society. "Admiral, their military commanders are discussing whether to attempt a preemptive strike," she reported, while tracking fleet movements throughout alien space. "Let them discuss," Admiral Huon replied from his position with the main battle fleet, while reviewing defensive positions that would protect human vessels from any conceivable alien attack. "Our shields can withstand anything they might throw at us, while our weapons can destroy their fleets from ranges they cannot even detect." The alien military leaders studied tactical reports that described human capabilities while trying to develop strategies that might work against technology they did not understand. Every simulation ended in complete alien defeat, while human forces suffered minimal or no casualties during theoretical engagements. Their shields make our weapons useless, while their own weapons can penetrate any armor we possess, reported Fleet Admiral Kess while reviewing combat data from the first encounter between human and alien forces. We have no effective countermeasures. Against their technology, Captain Yuna transmitted the final portion of humanity's ultimatum, while giving alien governments a choice between peaceful compliance and forcible eviction from territories that legally belong to Earth. You have 72 hours to begin evacuation, or we will commence liberation operations. The countdown began while alien civilians started panic evacuations from worlds that might become battlefields if their governments chose resistance over negotiation. Human ships maintained their positions while demonstrating the patience of people who knew time was on their side. Dr. Minho concluded his presentation while noting how alien archaeologists confirmed every detail of human evidence through their own independent analysis. The mathematical constants in these structures match Earth measurements, while the astronomical alignments correspond to stellar positions as viewed from Sol system. The proof was overwhelming, while alien legal experts admitted that human claims had absolute validity under every treaty and law code that governed galactic civilization. The choice facing alien governments was simple but painful: accept human sovereignty or become criminals under their own legal systems. General Taiho prepared his fleets for the liberation operations that would begin when the deadline expired, while hoping alien leaders would choose wisdom over pride. Signal all ships to maintain ready status, he ordered, while watching alien fleets position themselves for a battle they could not win. Commander Jinsu received the emergency transmission from Nexus Prime Station, while his stealth assault team prepared for the most audacious rescue mission in human military history. 3 human diplomats had been captured during failed negotiations and were being held in the galaxy's most secure detention facility deep within the massive alien command center. "The Galactic Council has rejected our ultimatum," Admiral Hyun announced to his fleet commanders while reviewing tactical displays that showed alien forces positioning themselves for what they believed would be a decisive battle. "They believe their prison can hold our people and that their defenses can protect them from retaliation." The Nexus Prime Station floated in the center of the galactic capital system, surrounded by defensive installations that had never been penetrated by enemy forces in over 1,000 years of operation. Automated weapon platforms and energy barriers created overlapping fields of fire that alien engineers claimed could stop any assault fleet ever conceived. Commander Jinsu smiled while studying the intelligence reports that human infiltrators had compiled during months of secret observation inside the alien facility. They designed their defenses to stop conventional attacks, he told his assault team while reviewing blueprints that showed every weakness in alien security systems. Engineer Somin activated the computer viruses that human programmers had hidden throughout galactic networks while beginning the systematic shutdown of alien defensive systems from within their own command centers. Her code had been waiting dormant for years while spreading through every computer network that connected to galactic communication systems. Initiating cyber warfare protocols, Engineer Soman reported while watching alien defense grids fail one by one as human viruses seized control of critical systems. Their firewalls are collapsing faster than their technicians can respond. The alien defenders watched in horror as their most advanced security systems turned against them, while weapon platforms that should have protected the station began targeting their own support vessels. Emergency lights flashed throughout Nexus Prime, while computer terminals displayed error messages in languages that no alien recognized. Captain Minseo led the stealth corvette squadron that had been observing alien positions from impossible hiding places while mapping every defensive installation in the capital system. Her ships materialized from hyperspace dimensions that alien science insisted were purely theoretical while beginning their synchronized assault on key targets. "All stealth units report ready," Captain Minseo announced while her vessels became visible to alien sensors for the first time as they dropped their cloaking fields, beginning precision strikes on automated defenses. The human stealth ships moved through space like dancers while their advanced targeting systems identified critical components in each alien defensive platform. Weapon turrets exploded in sequence, while shield generators overloaded under precisely focused energy beams that alien technology could not deflect or absorb. Commander Jinsu's assault team penetrated the outer hull of Nexus Prime Station through maintenance shafts that human infiltrators had mapped months earlier, while alien security forces remained focused on the external threat posed by visible human warships. Their stealth suits made them invisible to alien sensors while their weapons cut through armored bulkheads like paper. Security teams report unknown intruders in sections 12 through 15, an alien technician announced while studying sensor readings that showed impossible movement patterns throughout the station's lower levels. The intruders appear to be using some form of personal cloaking technology. The human assault team moved through alien corridors, while their suit computers provided real-time navigation data gathered by reconnaissance teams that had infiltrated the station using forged alien credentials. Every guard position and security checkpoint had been mapped while emergency protocols had been studied and countermeasures prepared. Engineer Somin watched alien communication networks crash under the weight of human cyber attacks while backup systems failed to activate due to virus infections that had corrupted their initialization codes. "Admiral, their command and control systems are completely compromised," she reported while noting how alien military units lost contact with their headquarters. The psychological impact spread throughout alien space as reports described the systematic failure of defensive systems that had protected galactic civilization for centuries. If humans could penetrate Nexus Prime at will, then nowhere in the galaxy remained safe from their reach. Commander Jinsu located the detention cells containing the human diplomats, while noting how alien security forces struggled to coordinate their response without functional communication systems. His team moved through the station like ghosts, while alien guards fired at shadows and empty corridors. Package located. Commander Jinsu reported while his team began the extraction process that would demonstrate human capability to conduct precision operations deep within enemy territory. Beginning extraction in 30 seconds. The human diplomats smiled when Commander Jinsu's team appeared in their cells while cutting through alien security barriers with handheld devices that operated beyond galactic understanding of materials science. Their rescue would prove that no alien prison could hold Earth's people against their will. Captain Minseo's stealth corvettes completed their surgical strikes against alien defensive platforms while suffering 0 casualties despite operating in the most heavily defended system in the galaxy. Her ships had destroyed or disabled every automated weapon that might threaten the extraction team while avoiding any engagement with crewed alien vessels. All defensive platforms neutralized, Captain Minseo reported while preparing to cover the extraction team's withdrawal. Enemy forces are in complete disarray and cannot mount effective resistance. The alien command staff watched their tactical displays show friendly units going offline one by one, while human forces operated with precision that suggested perfect intelligence about every aspect of their defensive systems. Emergency protocols activated and failed, while backup systems refused to respond to desperate override commands. Commander Jinsu's team withdrew from Nexus Prime Station with their rescued diplomats, while alien security forces finally organized. A response that arrived too late to prevent the mission's success. The demonstration was complete while galactic civilization realized that human capabilities extended far beyond conventional military power. Extraction successful, Commander Jinsu announced while his assault craft cleared the station's outer defenses and disappeared into hyperspace dimensions that alien pursuit vessels could not access. All objectives achieved with 0 friendly casualties. The news of the successful rescue operation spread through galactic communication networks, while military analysts tried to understand how 3 human ships had penetrated defenses that should have stopped entire invasion fleets. The implications were terrifying for alien governments that had assumed their most secure installations were impregnable. Engineer Somin completed her demonstration of human cyber warfare capabilities while restoring partial function to alien systems that would carry news of what had happened to every corner of galactic space. Admiral, the aliens now understand that we control their computer networks whenever we choose to activate our programs. Several minor alien species immediately began transmitting surrender offers, while their governments recognized that resistance against human technological superiority would result in the complete destruction of their civilizations. The psychological victory was as important as the military demonstration. Admiral Hyun reviewed reports from the successful operation, while noting how perfectly it had proceeded according to human planning. "Signal all fleet commanders to prepare for final phase operations," he ordered, while alien governments struggled to comprehend the scope of human infiltration throughout their territory. The galaxy would never again underestimate human capabilities, while Earth's children prepared to reclaim their rightful position as rulers of the stars their ancestors had once commanded before civil war drove them into exile among distant worlds that now seemed primitive compared to the civilization they had rebuilt. Colonel Seung-ho stood before the assembled representatives of every major alien government while preparing to reveal the final truth about humanity's preparation for this moment. The emergency session had been called after 3 days of failed attempts to organize military resistance against human forces that seemed to anticipate every alien move before it was made. "You have wondered how we could appear in your territory without detection, and how we could penetrate your most secure installations with such ease," Colonel Seung-ho began, while activating holographic displays that showed the true extent of human infiltration throughout galactic civilization. The aliens watched in growing horror as the displays revealed that critical infrastructure throughout their territory had been replaced with human-controlled systems during decades of secret operations disguised as routine maintenance and upgrades. Power grids, space lanes, communication networks, and orbital habitats all contained human technology that could be activated or deactivated at will. "This is impossible," Ambassador Kale declared, while studying images that showed human components, integrated into Vortani infrastructure that his people had considered completely secure. "Our security services monitor all installations and would have detected foreign technology," Colonel Seung-ho smiled while explaining how human engineers had disguised their modifications as standard upgrades using alien components that contained hidden human control systems. "Your own technicians installed our technology while believing they were improving your existing systems with more efficient designs." The revelation sent shockwaves through the assembled alien delegates while they realized that their entire civilization had become dependent on infrastructure that humans could control from Earth. Every hyperspace lane depended on navigation beacons that contained human override codes, while planetary defense grids operated through command systems that answered to human authorization. Captain Hajun received the activation order from Admiral Hyun while preparing to demonstrate the true scope of human control over galactic infrastructure. His finger hovered over the control panel that would simultaneously disable critical systems throughout alien space while leaving human-controlled territories completely unaffected. "Execute infrastructure shutdown," Admiral Hyun commanded while, knowing that the next few minutes would determine whether galactic civilization chose cooperation or complete collapse under the weight of human technological superiority. Captain Hajun activated the hidden protocols that human engineers had embedded in alien systems while watching status displays show transportation networks going offline throughout the galaxy. Hyperspace lanes closed while orbital elevators shut down and planetary power grids switched to minimum emergency operation. The effect was immediate and devastating while alien worlds found themselves cut off from interstellar commerce and communication as human-controlled systems ceased to function. Space stations lost life support while defense platforms powered down and cargo vessels found themselves stranded between stars as navigation networks failed. "What have you done?" the hegemony representative demanded, while emergency reports flooded in from across alien territory describing the systematic collapse of technological civilization. "Billions of people depend on those systems for survival, Colonel." Seung-ho gestured to the displays showing alien worlds struggling with infrastructure failures, while human territory remained completely unaffected by the shutdown. "We have demonstrated that your civilization exists only because we permit it," he replied, while noting how alien delegates finally understood their true position. Dr. Sunmi stepped forward with the final element of humanity's plan while carrying data tablets that contained complete technological packages for rebuilding alien civilization under human guidance. Her presentation would offer alien governments a choice between cooperation and permanent isolation on their homeworlds. "We offer you the gift of human technology that will rebuild your worlds and restore your civilization to full function, Dr. Sunmi announced while transmitting the technical specifications to every alien government simultaneously. "The price is simple recognition of human sovereignty over the galaxy." The technological packages contained innovations that would advance alien science by centuries while providing improvements in every aspect of life from medicine to agriculture to space travel. The knowledge was freely given, but came with built-in safeguards that ensured human oversight of all critical systems. "You would make us dependent on your technology forever," the alien delegate observed, while studying the technical specifications that promised solutions to problems their people had struggled with for generations. "You are already dependent on our technology," Dr. Sunmi replied, while highlighting the human components that had been hidden in alien infrastructure for decades. "We simply offer to make that dependence beneficial for everyone involved." Admiral Hyun watched the final negotiations unfold while his flagship Terra Ascendant prepared to receive the formal surrender of the Galactic Council. The massive human vessel dominated the alien capital system while demonstrating technology that operated beyond anything galactic civilization had ever imagined possible. The alien governments faced an impossible choice between accepting human rule or watching their civilizations collapse as critical infrastructure remained offline indefinitely. Emergency reports described food distribution networks failing, while medical facilities lost power and transportation systems ground to a complete halt. "How long can you maintain this shutdown?" Ambassador Kale asked while reviewing reports that described growing chaos throughout alien territory as systems continued to fail without human authorization to restart. "Indefinitely," Admiral Hyun replied, while noting how human-controlled systems required constant authorization codes to remain functional. "Our technology will not restart without proper authentication from Earth Command Authority." The surrender came in waves as minor alien species recognized that resistance was futile, while major powers struggled with the implications of accepting human sovereignty over territories their people had controlled for millennia. The legal precedent was clear, but the practical reality was devastating for alien pride. Captain Hajun prepared to restore partial function to alien infrastructure while ensuring that critical control systems remained under human authority. The restoration would demonstrate human mercy, while establishing permanent dependence on Earth technology for galactic civilization. "We accept human sovereignty over the disputed territories," the Galactic Council announced, while their legal experts confirmed that resistance would violate their own laws regarding original inhabitant rights. "We request restoration of critical life support systems for civilian populations." Admiral Hyun smiled while giving the order that would begin a new era of galactic history under human leadership. "Restore essential services," he commanded while watching alien relief as power grids came back online and hyperspace lanes reopened under human control. The Terra Ascendant docked with Nexus Prime Station, while Admiral Hyun prepared to accept the formal transfer of authority from alien governments that no longer controlled their own territory. The galaxy would be redrawn with Earth at its center, while alien species petitioned human authority for permission to maintain their interstellar civilizations. Dr. Sunmi supervised the transfer of human technology to alien governments while ensuring that every system contained safeguards that prevented unauthorized modification or reverse engineering. The knowledge would improve alien lives while maintaining human superiority in all critical areas. The new galactic order established Earth as the supreme authority, while alien species retained local autonomy under human oversight. Trade resumed through human-controlled hyperspace lanes, while alien governments adapted to their new role as junior partners in a civilization that their ancestors had never imagined. Colonel Seung-ho watched alien delegates sign the formal surrender documents, while noting how completely the demonstration had achieved human objectives, without requiring the massive destruction that conventional invasion would have caused. The galaxy was conquered through superior technology and planning rather than brute force. Admiral Hyun stood on the observation deck of his flagship while looking out at alien worlds that would now develop under human guidance toward a future that promised prosperity for all species willing to accept Earth's leadership. The exile was over while humanity reclaimed its rightful position among the stars.